Hello and welcome to Mindful Living, where we explore the art of living with the intention, balance, and inner peace. I am Avik, your host, guiding you through conversations on health, meditation, mental well being, mindfulness, and the mind body connection. Each episode features expert insights to help you grow, heal, and thrive. So, take a deep breath, relax, and join us on this journey to a more mindful and fulfilling life. So, let's get started.
Hello and welcome, listeners, to the Mindful Living podcast, where we explore holistic approaches to well being, healing, and personal transformation. I'm your host, Sana, and today I'm thrilled to introduce our guest, Shruti Sethi, a holistic nutritionist, cancer coach, energy psychologist, and expert in Ayurveda and Yoga. Shruti is the founder of Avana Health, a global holistic wellness platform that helps busy professionals and cancer survivors thrive through mindful eating, movement therapy, and wellness practices. As a cancer survivor herself, Shruti's personal journey has inspired her to guide others in transforming their health. And in today's conversation, listeners, we'll dive deep into cancer prevention, exploring how nutrition, mindfulness, and lifestyle practices can significantly reduce the risk of cancer and chronic diseases. Shruti will also share practical tips on how to live healthier, more balanced lives. Whether you are looking for guidance on cancer prevention or simply want to take charge of your health, this conversation is packed with invaluable insights for you. So, Shruti, welcome to the show, and it's an absolute honor to have you with us.
Thank you, Sana, so much for a beautiful introduction. I'm very excited.
Lovely. So, Shruti, your personal journey with cancer has deeply influenced your work. Can you share what first led you to holistic practices and how they helped in your own healing process?
Yes, so, when I got diagnosed with cancer, I was 34.
Mm-hmm.
And to get a diagnosis of cancer at certain age, it's so difficult for you to accept it.
Exactly.
Because you're thriving in your career. I was a fashion designer before, living
Mm-hmm.
in Mumbai, and I was healthy. I thought I was healthy. Is going to the gym, looking good.
Mm-hmm.
For me, health was just looking good, like external.
Mm-hmm.
It was never internal because we were never taught what is internal. Right now, there is a lot of awareness, but that time in 2016, I don't think so. We knew a lot about this.
Yeah. True.
So, to get that diagnosis and then to come to this consensus that okay, now what? Like, how do I deal with this? Because
Mm-hmm.
when you go to the doctor, all they want to take you is through treatments and how to resolve it. But
Right.
what is the root cause behind it? Why did I get cancer? No, I didn't have that answer so easily. So for me, it was a quest to understand and also to defeat cancer. Not only to defeat cancer, but there is always a fear of relapse. And I
Mm-hmm.
saw in so many other people's cases when I used to go to the doctor's office or take treatments, is that people were there for twice or thrice, and like they're taking the treatment either for a relapse or then any other secondary form of cancer has happened. So I was very scared, and that led me to venture into this alternative healing modalities and understanding what really is holistic health. What is the meaning of holistic? What other things we should be doing? Because uh, we need our body gives these signs and symptoms always.
Right.
Cancer just doesn't happen all of a sudden. It takes years, at least 10 years to develop in your body. So I had to backtrace my steps what was I doing 10 years back, and what was my body giving these signs and symptoms? What were those signs? So
Mm-hmm.
for me, they were like, I always, from my childhood, I had certain issues with my gut. I
Mm-hmm.
was an anxious person. Or I had problems during my teenagers with PCOD, insulin resistance. Plus, I had severe hormonal imbalance. Like I had so much acne. Like my face is now clear, but I had so much acne. I used to get scared.
Mm-hmm.
So these signs and symptoms, and all you go to the doctor, they just give you a pill,
Yeah.
just that pill, and that's it. Like you don't talk about changing your diet or lifestyle. Most of the people, most of the doctors now say that, but back then nobody talked about it. So for me, I had to find my own journey. I had to invade into these waters of holistic health, and there were some things which were suiting me. There were some things which were not suiting me. But anyways, I was very determined to understand my underlying root cause. And one of the root cause which I figured out was stress. I was extremely stressed as a person. I was also going through a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
And my body was like helping. I was crying out for help, and just come out and help. And all I needed to look is inside, like what is going on in my mind, in my heart, in my emotional health. And when I started to just sit down and accept things, and with meditation and with other modalities, when you take help of a coach, they give you the path, because sometimes it's very difficult for you to understand yourself. 'Cause
Right.
you're going through so much, right? But
Yeah.
once you have cancer, you have like bombarded with information and bombarded with so many other things. So it's important for you to take a step back and work with someone. And I worked with several coaches
Mm-hmm.
to understand deeper aspect of why, from a spiritual aspect, from a physical aspect, all these combination of things helped me invade through these waters. And I got so much of peace when I was going through this. Even with cancer, when I was taking chemotherapy, I'm not giving audience this advice that only go through holistic or only go through conventional. It is the integrated approach which helped me, and which I feel is very scientific and approachable. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, integrative approach, taking the chemotherapy plus working on my mindset, working on my physical element of the part, like nutrition, diet, plus emotional health, mindfulness, all this worked hand in hand. And I got so much peace and happiness during that time of chemo that my body started to feel healed. Like I got this intuition when I was sitting in meditation that the cancer is gone. And actually, after 4 chemos, the cancer, when we did the PET scans,
Mm-hmm.
it was all gone. And I refused radiation because I believed in this healing power of my body, and I wanted to give it a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Though it was a reckless decision, but I don't know why. I just got this, this very, very strong urge that I am healed and I don't want the conventional approach anymore. I've taken it enough. Let me just make this connection with my body and my mind, and let's see how it goes.
Well, Shruti, thank you so much for sharing your journey, and it is really empowering, very, very empowering, very encouraging for all of us to know how you uh, you know went through the journey. You uh, understood the need for holistic practices, holistic approach, to understand mindset, and practice mindfulness, to for that self awareness and self realization. So thank you so much for sharing your journey with us, and more power to you, Shruti. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sana. Thank you.
Lovely. So, in terms of cancer prevention, what role does nutrition play in lowering the risk of developing cancer or other chronic diseases? Are there any specific foods you recommend incorporating or avoiding? Because this is something which I don't think is not very much talked about. People talk about cancer treatment, or most of the discussion is around that. only. But how do you?
Yes.
What's your opinion on this?
I think it's you touched a very important topic today, cancer prevention. Can I tell you the statistics that according to Apollo Hospital, 2000 May to 2024,
Mhm.
India has become number one in cancer. That means more and more younger Indians are getting prone to cancer.
Yes,
It is, I was stunned by this
it is
statistics.
alarming. It is
I
alarming.
mean, people will argue that we have a very high population, but we were never a cancer burdened country. It has
True.
just recently happened. So why is not prevention talked about? I mean, everything is just about okay, what medical treatments now and etc. Nutrition is, I think, number one way by which we can prevent cancer, because
Mhm.
right now the lifestyle is so sedentary, especially with the people who are living in urban areas, the
Yeah,
cities, and we
yeah.
are not moving enough. We are eating processed food, no, ghar se, like we're ordering food from outside all the time, and just go to these shortcuts foods with McDonald's, and I don't know what, people have started taking a lot of non-vegetarian food. They think that eating non-vegetarian food is the coping, like they feel like Westerners. I
Mhm.
don't know what this mentality, but this is a basically people who get developed. The countries are getting developed more and more. They are
Mhm.
moving towards non-vegetarian food because it's in their psychology. Somehow that meat is luxury.
Mhm.
So the more processed foods we are eating, the more problems are happening. There was another statistics which was done by a doctor and on colon cancer. A lot of younger Indians below the age of 40 are getting colon cancer.
Mhm.
And one of the reasons why colon cancer is 80% is your nutrition, the diet, because people are constipated, people are not eating more fiber, people are dehydrated, people are not drinking. All they are drinking is cola, coffees, and alcohol. So, of course, lifestyle plays an extremely important role, and on the basis of that nutrition, as I said, we were never like we are more turning towards processed food. We are not eating enough fiber. We are not taking those phytonutrients and antioxidants in our diet. People are not even cooking food at
Exactly.
home, right? So it's also that energy of the food which is which I feel that makes that connection between your food and you and your mind plays an important role. So if I have to break down, first of all, if I have to give the practical advice to people, is like adding more fiber in your food, more green vegetables,
Right.
green fruits and nuts and seeds, and which have high is high nutrient value.
Mhm. Mhm.
Please, at least one portion of your meal should be those greens and vegetables. And then, if you are, say, for example, you're taking 2 meals a day, so that one meal should be cooked meal with home cooked
Exactly.
things and having more nuts and good fats in it. And people are not eating good fats as well, like people are scared of that they'll put on weight or wrong, but that's a wrong notion. So fat diets, like too much of taking keto diets or some fat diets, they're just going for, which is not helping in the long run.
Yeah.
Also, secondary thing is remembering that we are surrounded with a pool of like chemicals around us in
Mhm.
our house. The chemicals pollution is just to the next level. Places like Bangalore, I did from you, Delhi, and Mumbai. Look at the levels of pollution. Already the 30%, 40% oxygen is gone down. So how do you expect to have a clean air around you? So, having that antioxidants in your body, which reduces those stress levels in oxidative stress in your body.
Mhm.
So, having things like, antioxidants would be having berries,
Yeah.
again, nut seeds, and herbs like ashwagandha or shatavari, whatever herbs you can, having curcumin,
Mhm.
good quality curcumin, which is absorbed like liposomal types, having good dose of vitamin C. People are not taking vitamin C. People are also not going out in the sun. No, a lot of people are deficient in
Very,
vitamin
very
D,
personal thing.
not connecting with nature. So that also, a lot of nutrient deficiencies are there, which can lead to cancer. So it can be, most of the cancer can just be a nutrient deficiency, and you correct those, and you can definitely prevent cancer. So I would urge people to go for their blood test every 6 months and check their inflammation markers like HSCRP, CRP, ESR. If you have a family history of cancer,
Mm-hmm.
please take care of, do a gene test, do a genome test, and
Mm-hmm.
understand your genes better. Because, I'm telling you, like, it is the scenario we feel we are immortal unless and until something really hits us like a cancer. And then we decide, oh my God, I had this gene. Why didn't I take some precautions before? But taking, like, understanding your genome type, understanding your gut health will definitely help you prevent. And you can, 70% of the cancers are preventable. It's just a lifestyle. So why not take the charge of your health and do these things when they are abundant? I mean, if you're just don't go on, just save money on your health, and don't go to a restaurant, eat home cooked meal, and I would say spend money on your blood test and get that genome test, so that you understand your body, because that's, health is the greatest asset.
True.
And you don't want to go through cancer because it's a daunting journey. Believe me, it's not that easy. Like, the stress levels, the mental um capacity one has to have for the facing cancer is enormous, and not everyone can survive that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Shruti, thank you so much for sharing these vital information, because it is observable. We are observing the changes. We are observing the changes in the weather patterns due to pollution. We are observing the changes in people affected by pollution. We are already into diabetes. Now we're already on the alarming levels of having cancer. So thank you so much for sharing these great tips and information on how to prevent cancer. I think the more discussion should be on cancer prevention, not cancer treatment. So thank you once again for sharing this.
Thank you, Sanaya. 100% agree with you that more discussion should be on cancer prevention. And that's the reason why we've launched a lot of programs around cancer prevention, where we teach people, what they can do during the day, and or how to create a diet around that, and how to create a lifestyle around it.
Lovely, lovely. And how do you integrate mindfulness, meditation, and yoga
Yeah.
into the entire journey of cancer prevention and overall well-being as well?
So uh, let's just understand the basic. When your mind and body is at ease,
Mm-hmm,
when you're not in that flight and fight mode,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
and you are basically reducing the inflammation in the body. When you are stressed out, all the energy is going into this high stress levels where the inflammation increases. So when you are in this level of peace, and really, like, your body's, there is synchronicity, your heartbeat is leveled out, you
mm-hmm,
are just, you're you're focusing on your breath rather than anything else.
mm-hmm,
You come to a state of rest and digest. So when you're in that rest and digest, that you digest the food well, um, your your organs are functioning quarterly, your breath is working quarterly, and you decrease any amount of the cortisol levels in your body. So cancer, if you want to prevent cancer, you need to figure out, okay, how do I bring the inflammation down, how do I bring the stress levels down, because we all are stressed. There are hundreds of triggers in our day where we can all of a sudden get stressed. So
yeah.
mindfulness, yoga, meditation, any form of mindfulness helps you to become more calmer, and helps you to accept the situation the way it is, and not to react. The main thing is, when we get reactive
Mm-hmm.
to any phase of our life, to any any triggers, then our body and mind starts to get into this get state of, oh my god, like I want to run from here, or I can't face it, and your heart starts beating and you get palpitations and you get anxiety, and that leads to inflammation. So the basic thing is that we want to lower the inflammation, and mindfulness breath work is a very easy, it looks so simple, it sounds very simple, but it is very very easy to follow and easy to do if you
Mhm.
really want to lower it, because sometimes we just give like these very easy tips and people like, is that so easy? But you're right, but it is like, it's not some theory which is a new theory invented by Harvard or something. It's invented years back by our yogis and everyone, which makes you more calmer and in a reflective mode rather than in a reactive mode. So
Mhm.
mindfulness, yoga, and any form of meditation will bring you make you level headed, not react, and also have your mind and body is deeply connected. So it brings you in this connection mode with your own self, with your own intuition, with your own breath, with your own gut. And when you are so well connected and grounded, it's a great state to be in, and you can face any situation. If you are also going through cancer, when you are connected with yourself and you are more determined, you have a very good willpower. So
Mhm.
when we have the willpower, when we have this positivity, when we have a good state of mind, then we can face any situation. So
Def-
that's like a tool. Mindfulness, yoga, and breathwork is a tool for you to conquer anything in life, be it cancer, be it any stress situation in your life. When you are much more relaxed, calmer, grounded,
Mhm.
it's a victory for you.
Yes, that is true. Great, great, Shruti. So, moving on, for busy professionals, finding
Yeah.
the time to prioritize health is difficult. I'm saying, although the question is can be difficult, but I'm saying it's difficult according to my experience. So, number one, I believe the main problem is we do not get exposed to sunlight much. Uh,
Mhm.
Half of our day, or maybe more than half of our day, just goes in sitting inside the office, maybe a few
Yes.
breaks and traveling in the morning. That's it. That's the amount of sunlight we are generally exposed to. And there are obviously other factors as well. So, what are some simple, actionable tips they can start applying today to improve their diet and lifestyle for better cancer prevention?
Yeah. That's a great question, Sana. And what I would say is start your morning not with a cup of tea or coffee. Start your day with a with anything which is like a warm liquid, besides caffeine, say lemon water or just warm water, so that you are hydrating first thing in the morning. You can have any green juice also in the morning, depending upon your situation. If you're too acidic, then not. But just like jeera pani or cumin seed, any warm water which is hydrating, that I think everybody can do first thing in the morning. The second thing which I would like to, if you're too busy, at least give yourself that 10-15 minutes before you eat anything to move, like do these twists and turns and stretch your
Mm.
body. 20 minutes of good HIT workout or breath work will just set your day up. And if you're traveling, just listen to some nice music or meditation and calm yourself down. You can do that any time of the day. There are so many beautiful meditation apps, Calm or Go to Mind Valley or any other ones, or just stand Om, right? Just stand Om whenever you feel the time. The other thing which I want, the corporates to apply is that instead of the sitting desk, there are a lot of, I don't know whether it's still in India, but in US, there are standing desks. People who do the meeting while standing, not sitting.
Yes.
So, right. So you actually, when you're tired sitting, you can take your laptop and stand and do your work. That's a great way of at least moving around. with regards to sunlight, I'm so sorry to tell you, but there is no solution. You need to take that sunlight. So if you could tell your office people to have this outdoor meetings, that would be great. Just walk in the grass if there is a good corporate people. Like I've seen the Google offices here. They're so beautiful with nature, and they
Yes.
have these grass where they can just people can walk in, and there's sunlight coming in. So even if it's cold, like North America, it gets so cold, but just taking that, even in that cold, going out, it's so extremely important for your oxytocin, serotonin, and all the hormones to take that sunlight. Even if it's a cloudy day, it doesn't matter, you need to step out. So that's something which unfortunately doesn't have a shortcut. I mean, I would say, okay, take a vitamin D pill, but that's not exactly imitating the sunlight. The sunlight has its own advantages.
True.
So you need to either, before going to the office, or just sitting in your balcony doing yoga or whatever, taking 10 minutes, 15 minutes of sunlight daily is extremely important. Eating, I would say, starting your meals with anything which has good amount of fats, a little bit portion of carbs, good proteins. So I drink first thing in the morning is a nice green smoothie where I add my greens, and I would add my flax seeds, chias, and
Oh,
nuts and seeds with nice banana which has potassium, and secondly throw in some berries like strawberries and blueberries, nice antioxidants and phytonutrients. So that's like very easy to make. I think everybody can that. So that I know my gut is like it's a gut friendly smoothie. So
mm-hmm.
improving that. And then obviously your lunch and breakfast, whatever, might be mindful of that it has some portion of greens and vegetables. It's not like having a burger and stuff. Even if you're having a burger, for example,
Uh-huh.
just start with a salad, right? You can at least give yourself that proportion of salad, like a half plate of salad in one burger.
Yeah.
So practical tips like that, and then evening, if you are having a very high carb diet in the mornings, then have a low carb diet in the night, and have focusing more on, say, a good amount of proteins, and having good amounts of fats, and like not like, I'm not talking about processed food, like things like avocado, or having nuts and seeds, and a bowl of salad in the evening with
Hmm.
soups.
Hmm.
That's a great meal option, because you don't want to have a heavy meal in the night. And one thing which I would like people to do is that please finish your meals maximum by 7, 8 o'clock. Don't, a lot of people have late meals. That again puts a lot of pressure on your digestive system. And then you don't sleep well, and your sleep cycle gets disturbed, and sleep is also important.
Yes.
Another one very good tip I would say, if you really want to stay away from cancer, is start these fasting protocols.
Mm-hmm.
It
Correct.
helps such a great deal, like doing just not eating one day. Just
But
go on a 24-hour fast, or like a 36. I like to do like a nice 3-day fast.
kind of
Um,
detoxification.
yeah, and it improves, and not only it regenerates the cell, it triggers something called an autophagy, where your dead cells get out of your system, and new stem cells
Hmm.
get generated. So you want to focus on that. Even if there are, see, we all have cancer cells in our body, you, me, every day we produce cancer cells. So if you improve your immunity, if you keep your immune system enhanced, like having a lot of vitamin C and fasting, so your cancer cells get weaker, especially with when you do fasting. What's the food for cancer? The food for cancer would be high inflammatory foods, sugar, and all those other things which creates inflammation, alcohol, and other stuff like meat and processed things. So if you get away from that for a couple of days in a month, that cleanses your system and detoxifies you, and also puts less pressure on your liver and kidneys, which are the detox organs. So be mindful of all these. These are small tips. Fasting is not a big deal. I think everybody can do it. If you can't do like a whole water fast, do a juice fast.
Right.
do like an intermittent fast, like 16, 17, 18 hours. That is also a great way to start your fasting journey.
Lovely, lovely. And before we wrap up, Shruti, through your work at Avana Health, you have seen people reverse chronic conditions through a holistic approach. So, can you share some success stories or key lessons from your clients that could inspire our listeners to take control of their health?
Yes, so I've seen people with extreme thyroid problems like hypothyroidism, Graves' disease, having these plus having gut issues and sleep issues. Their thyroid resolved. Like I would like to share this case of a 22-year-old
Mhm.
uh, person who's about to get married, and we took her. We first of all we did the entire thyroid panel,
Mhm.
understanding what is going wrong. So her TSH levels were high, like above 20, so 26 or something. And we didn't, she wanted to see, it's also the willingness of the person to go on this path.
Right.
Not everyone is meant for this path. So she was like, no, I don't want to start medications, because she had that knowledge that if I start the medications, it will be for lifelong. So she wanted to go to this holistic part, and she was ready to change. And she not only changed her lifestyle, she had, she regulated her sleep patterns, she regulated her diet, she regulated her exercising. And within 2 months, her TSH levels were absolutely normal. So it's supplementations, etc. So I was saying it is also the faith and the will of the person. With
Correct.
people, I've seen with cancer also, if people have the faith and willingness to change and really look for a real reason of why cancer has happened. It can be a spiritual aspect, it can be an emotional aspect. People who work on their emotional healing, people who work on their lifestyle get great results. Like I've seen so many people getting out of cancer and living a beautiful life.
Great. Well, Shruti, thank you so much for this absolutely informative and lovely conversation around cancer prevention. And if our listeners want to connect with you and explore more about your work at Avana Health, how they can do that?
So they can connect me on any social media. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, Shruti_Sethi_ cancer coach. I have my website called www.avanahealth.com. Connect with me, and do, if you have any questions, please ask, because I am here to help, especially if you have a loved one with cancer or going through cancer yourself. Connect with me and I'll be happy to help you.
Lovely. We'll mention all the details in the show notes for our listeners. And Shruti, thank you so much for joining us today on the Mindful Living podcast. It's been such an insightful conversation with you, with your incredible journey, your empowering journey, and the powerful ways we all can take control of our health through holistic practices. So, you have provided us with actionable tools and tips for cancer prevention and overall well being, right from nutrition to mindfulness.
Thank you, Sana. It was a great talk and a great podcast.
Thank
Happy
you.
to help, and let's connect again.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And listeners, if you're inspired by today's discussion and want to learn more, you can uh, connect with Shruti. You can check the show notes along with this episode on your favorite podcast platform. You can explore her holistic care platform, Avana Health, for personalized wellness support as well. And remember that your health is your greatest asset, as Shruti said in the discussion. And by making small mindful changes, you can create a life of vitality and balance. So, thank you to everyone for tuning in, and being sure to subscribe so you don't miss more transformative conversations like this coming your way. Until next time, stay mindful, stay healthy, and take care of yourself.